Welcome to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. We have been learning the chapter Acid, Bases and Salts. Today we will go to part 4 where we deal with the pH scale and universal indicator and some uses of pH in our daily life. We know water is a neutral substance. It's neither acidic nor basic in nature. Why is it so? Because water has equal number of H plus ions and OH minus ions. Because in the previous videos we learned H plus ion is giving acidic nature to some substance. The same time OH minus ions are giving basic nature to certain other compounds. So if H plus is more, OH is minus is less, then that is acidic. So if an acid, if we tell about an acid, it does not mean that it does not contain any OH minus. It has OH minus but more of H plus will be there. The same way a base also can have H plus, but what will be more? OH minus will be more, making it basic. So if H plus is more acidic, OH minus is more, it is basic in nature. But when OH minus and H plus are equal in number, then that substance becomes neutral. We learned some indicators help us to tell whether one substance is acidic or basic. We learned about them in detail, but they do not tell us about the strength of that particular acid or base, because we learned acids can be strong acids because of their ionization potential, or they can be weak acids, they produce only less H plus. The same way bases which can ionize completely to produce more OH minus are strong bases, which partially ionize are weak bases. So in that context, if we say indicator is just telling us whether it is acidic or basic, but if you want to know the strength, we are measuring it in terms of pH scale. So when you write P is a small letter, H we are writing uppercase. So pH scale indicates the strength of an acid or base. What does this P stand for? It stands for potence. Potence is a German word, its meaning is power. Okay. And hydrogen, H, hydrogen ion concentration, because it is based on H plus we are indicating pH of a substance. We know H plus is more means acidic as we told. So it is actually the negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration. That means if the H plus is more, the pH value will be less. That is, pH value is measured in a scale from starting from 0 to 14. The mid value is 7. So 7 is neutral. So 0 to 7 is acidic. Starting the most concentrated form from 0 and decreasing towards neutral, that is 7. And from 7, then basicity starts and the highest point would be 14. So here 0 or 1 means the very concentrated form of acid, whereas 14 means very concentrated form of base. So if I simply say there are 3 acids with the pH values 5, 3 and 1. Which is the strongest acid? Of course the pH value with 1, because higher the H plus concentration, lesser the value of pH, right? So pH value is 1 means it has more H plus ions, whereas 3 will have less H plus than the 1 and 5 will be the least strong, or we can say that the weakest among these 3. The same way bases, when we talk about, if there are 3 bases with a 8, 12 and 14. So 8 is the least, then 12 is higher than that, and highest or the strongest base would be the one with a 14. Hope you understood pH scale. Do we use any unit for pH? No, it is a pure number we are representing starting from 0 to 14, so there is no unit for pH. When it comes to neutral substances like water, the absolute pure neutral substance would be having a pH of 7 in the scale. Usually the strong acids fall under the category or the range of 0 to 3, whereas the weak acids from 4 to 6. The same way, if pH value is more than 7, they are coming under the category of bases. Usually with the pH values 8 to 10 are considered as weak bases and 11 to 14 are considered as the strong bases. In this chart you can see a few substances of our daily use or we come across and their pH values, so that you can find out which is acidic or basic, are they strong or weak. Universal indicator is a mixture of several indicators. It will help us to find out the strength of an acid or a base. At different hydrogen ion concentrations or pH values, the universal indicator shows different color. So by matching it with the color chart provided, we can find out the pH value of that particular compound. So that's the use of universal indicator. Now we will discuss the pH value in our today life. That is, in our body, basically our body is slightly alkaline in nature. Our body works within the range of 7 to 7.8. But actually this value varies at different parts of our digestive system to enable the digestion or enable the functions of certain enzymes. But basically speaking, we need to have alkaline body. So conventionally speaking, we are tend to eat, or we are advised to eat more alkaline food than acidic food, but unfortunately due to our modern lifestyle we are giving importance to more acidic food than alkaline food, which is creating a lot of discomfort in our digestive system, which in turn affects other health conditions also. Now in the atmosphere also, sometimes the oxides of nitrogen dioxide or sulfur dioxide all are there as industrial emissions and all. When rain is falling, water mixes with these compounds and form acids. So when they fall down on the earth, it can damage the plants, buildings, human beings, animals, etc. So when can we say the acid rain is happening? Or rainwater is basically acidic in nature because it is carbonic acid, but it's a weak acid. But when is it becoming a strong acid rain? If the pH is less than 5.6. It happens in highly polluted cities. If an acid rain occurs in a city, definitely all the crops will get damaged. Lot of monuments and buildings will also get damaged, and if this is washed off to the nearby water bodies, it will reduce the pH of the water body, that is making it acidic. As a result, the aquatic organisms also will get affected there. Then we know another planet, Venus, it has got atmosphere made of clouds of sulfuric acid. You know how strong sulfuric acid is. So we can't even imagine the clouds of sulfuric acid as atmosphere, no life can exist there ever. Then coming to pH of the soil. pH of the soil is very, very important in terms of agriculture, because different plants need different pH values in the soil. Some plants prefer acidic soil, some plants prefer basic soil. So when you cultivate a particular plant in an area, it's better to test the soil before we start cultivation. The testing is very easy. We just have to take a small sample, maybe 1 or 2 grams of soil, mix it with water and dip a universal indicator in that. From that, what will you get? From the color you can identify whether it is matching with a pH scale. You can identify whether it is acidic or a basic. So if your soil is found to be acidic, we need to make it basic, or we have to neutralize it. So to neutralize acid, what should we add? We have to add base. For that, to the soil we can apply calcium oxide. What is calcium oxide? Quicklime. Calcium hydroxide. What is calcium hydroxide? Slaked lime. Or calcium carbonate. So any of these, if you mix with the soil will gradually become neutralized, which can support the growth of the particular plants. In case if the soil is found to be too much alkaline, that's also not good. In such cases, we cannot add acid to the soil to neutralize. Most of the time we avoid that, but rather we can use some manure which will improve the texture of the soil along with managing the pH. Then coming to our digestive system, we know we have a strong acid, hydrochloric acid inside our digestive system. So gastric juice is a mixture of 3 compounds. Which are they? Hydrochloric acid, mucus and pepsin, right? So altogether the pH is 1.2 in our stomach. Then coming to magnesium hydroxide, which is used for treating acidity, because since we have acid in our stomach, if you are eating a lot of spicy food, or if you are not eating at regular intervals, you are leaving gap and all, you can build up acid in your stomach. That can create some irritation, so that's called acidity. That will lead to heartburn. Heartburn is a word which is used to represent this acidity which we are feeling in the food pipe, but it has nothing to do with our heart. So these kind of difficulties that we feel because of acid reflux, we can reduce by adding some base, because base can neutralize that. So in order to neutralize that, we have to consume some base. So the base should also be edible or consumable, otherwise it will be dangerous. So usually we use a mild base called a milk of magnesia, which is actually a solution of magnesium hydroxide, or sometimes we use baking soda also, which can neutralize the acidic nature inside our digestive tract and give us quick relief. Then Tooth decay is another problem that we are facing. We know when are we getting tooth decay? Whenever we are not brushing our teeth properly, we end up in tooth decay. Why is it happening or how is it happening? Once we eat food and we don't wash our mouth clearly, properly, or at night we don't brush our teeth properly, some food particles may get stuck to the teeth. Then during night, who will eat those particles? Bacteria. Once they consume those food which is stuck there, they produce a kind of acid. That acid will cause decay of our teeth. So, when can this go to that decay? Only when the pH of the mouth is going below 5.5. So, whenever we are brushing using a toothpaste is slightly alkaline in nature. As a result, we neutralize the acidity in our mouth and our teeth are protected. So, keeping our mouth clean after consuming each time is very, very important to avoid tooth decay. Now, another problem we are facing is the sting by certain insects, especially bee sting or ants. So, some insects are injecting a kind of acid called a methanoic acid or a formic acid. So, since acid is injected, we get that burning sensation and painful sensation. So, we can apply some base, that is baking soda, in that area so that we get quick relief. Then another important thing is nettle leaves. Nettle leaves are actually found in the wild. So if you get come in contact with the nettle leaves, you will get irritation due to the methanoic acid. But in nature itself, there is another solution to it called a dog plant. Dog plant will be somewhere around the nettle plant itself. So you can take that leaf and you can rub it because it is alkaline, that will neutralize this effect. So these are the basic information about pH in our daily life. Hope you enjoyed the lesson today. If so, please like, share and subscribe to my channel Biology My Passion. Thank you for watching.